Deion Sanders' desperate attempt to secure son Shiloh's NFL future as ex-wife Pilar makes concerning admission. That possibility of going undrafted. That possibility of your name not in the 257 names called. That's the biggest fear for a guy who wants to be an NFL player. Everyone already knows Shedeur Sanders is going to be a hot talk on draft day. But that's not the same case for Shiloh Sanders. And it's kind of nerve-wracking if you're in the Sanders household, where greatness and fame are forefront. So, as you can guess, the family is now putting. But before anything, let's get one thing clear. Shiloh Sanders isn't eating anyone's dust. This guy can deliver. In his latest Instagram story on April 22nd, Deion Sanders gave his safety son a deserving shout-out, posting NFL Rookie Watch's top 5 safeties in the 2025 NFL Draft ranked by total turnovers created, INT plus FF plus FR. He captioned, "My dogs," tagging Shiloh Sanders and another Buff standout, Cameron Silman Craig. In the ranking, Shiloh topped at number 4 with 6 interceptions, 7 FFs, and 2 FRs for a total of 15. Meanwhile, Cameron ranked right behind him at 5, posting 8 interceptions, 3 FFs, and 3 FRs for a combined 14 points. But here's the brutal hit. Shiloh Sanders wasn't invited to the NFL Combine. That's like not getting invited to prom even though you're on the court. This only gave rise to uncontrolled speculation that the 25-year-old won't even be drafted at all. Still, Deion Sanders offers ride-or-die support for his son, and his latest post and his previous motivation and endorsement are clear indications. Despite the combined snub, Shiloh Sanders delivered on Colorado's Pro Day on April 4th. Deion Sanders promised him a brand new car if he ran a 4.4. Didn't happen. When the safety clocked a 4.52, he still praised him and showed love, calling him a pillar of consistency. Shiloh is an old-school player playing under these new-school guidelines. Shiloh is a dog, Deion Sanders said. I'm so darn proud of him. He does not take a back seat to his brother. He does not take a back seat to anybody. He's a worker. Shiloh had 67 tackles last season, the third most on Colorado's team, and also forced 2 fumbles. He even returned 1 for a TD against Texas Tech. He finished his career with 111 tackles across South Carolina, Jackson State, and Colorado. But there's still a chance that he could go undrafted, which leads us to his mother's concerns. Pilar Sanders voices her concerns for Shiloh Sanders. Well, talks are flying about, and Pilar Sanders is not immune to what the sports world is thinking about Shiloh Sanders' draft future. In her IG post where she addressed her fans, she pinned down a real mom concern for the upcoming draft in her caption. "This draft has me this stressed, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, rolling on the floor laughing. You feel the nerves. You feel the anxiety." She also uploaded an NFL Rookie Watch post on her IG story, which then had her son's name at the top 3. Even Shiloh Sanders got in the hype game, sharing her big bro's achievement online. Some scouts see Shiloh Sanders as a day 3 steal. Others, not so much. It's murky waters for them. But for the Sanders, they really want both the sons in the NFL. They're campaigning, they're posting, they're pleading. And Shiloh? He's also making a pitch for himself. If you want a safety that's going to play like a safety, that's going to be physical, bring that hat, be a leader in the secondary, take coaching, be an extension of the defensive coordinator, do my job, everything I'm supposed to do, then I'm the guy. Just a straightforward selling point. No fluff, no flex, unlike his younger brother. But whether or not all these developments are enough to get his name called, we'll soon find out. Shut the F.K. up. Deion Sanders Jr. takes offense as blunt Shadur expose rings alarm for the family. The Sanders family's media presence, anchored by his father, Deion, is impossible to ignore. While Shadur's play speaks for itself, the story surrounding his rise is filled with more than just XS and OS. Deion's larger-than-life persona, combined with the media empire that his family controls, has turned Shadur into more than just a quarterback prospect. In a draft where every decision is scrutinized, NFL teams are now wrestling with the question, is Shiloh Sanders a player to invest in, or is he the product of a brand that might come with unintended baggage? And that's a question his family doesn't take lightly, that we like to call that stuff out. I know who it is. You know what team. Don't make me pull behind the curtain and step in that thing. This was Deion Sanders, the father and head coach of the well-touted QB Shadur, threatening to out the name of the coach who was spreading the rumors of Shedur's alleged arrogance. But he chose to take the high road, in his words. To be honest, that's exactly how the whole Sanders family rolls. Direct, confident, never mincing words, and calling a spade a spade. And that's exactly what Deion Jr. is also up to now. Shiloh Sanders' case is like the curious case of Benjamin Button. As time is passing, the drafts are slipping the QB way lower than not even the best of the analysts had expected. Mel Kiper Jr., the leading expert on draft predictions, had even said that the Giants and Browns should pick Travis Hunter first in the first round and later pick Shedeur, who would still be there later in the round or even at the start of the second round. That's some pretty massive downgrade, right? Well, this wasn't it. In a recent video posted by Emmanuel Acho, a prominent voice on X on NFL discussions, and former NFL linebacker, shared a video making a case for Jackson Dart being the actual QB2 behind Cam Ward. The video posted an analysis of a game film where Acho said, "Look at the ball placement. Look at it. This is a Dart bomb touchdown." The film shows Dart throwing an effortless deep ball into the end zone in a man-marking setup for a touchdown. The play is surely exceptional, but Acho went on to make the case of Dart being the QB2 by analyzing different game tapes. This was something which irked Shedur's elder brother, Deion Sanders Jr. Deion Jr. replied and reposted with a savage message, "I was blind, but now I see," with an emoji saying, "Shut the F up." The reply was crisp, to the point, and has fueled discussions on the internet. Deion Jr. has been a loyal family advocate and always defends his family, whether it's Shedeur, Shiloh, or Deandra. His Instagram following of over 500,000 speaks to the level of influence the man has garnered in Boulder, Colorado. Sanders Jr.'s influence might not show on the field, but the level of pull he has is surely notable when he's on social media. He is also pivotal in managing and creating an image of the Buffs under Coach Prime as a program that recruits not just for playing, but also for building relationships. The eldest Sanders sibling also recently spoke on Shiloh and criticized scouts for wrongly keeping the time after Coach Prime challenged Shiloh to run a 4.4 40-yard dash. But now comes the real question. Do Acho's words even matter? Is Shedeur Sanders' family focusing on irrelevant things? When you look at Shedeur Sanders, which NFL player comes to mind? Well, Derek Carr of the New Orleans Saints is someone who resembles a fairly upgraded Shedeur. The resemblance, while not uncanny, still has some key aspects to consider. Sanders' ball accuracy at 6,632% in his college career resembles the guy. Then there is anticipation. Both players have good knowledge of, and both players' sack susceptibility is something that remained a concern. Also, neither are dual-threat QBs. Carr was also not a first-round pick, just as Shedeur Sanders is being widely demoted to. But that's where the optimistic part comes. Derek Carr was drafted in the second round and has still managed to make a name for himself. The career, which started in 2014, reflects the solid, hard work and improvement the player has put into himself. Signed a massive $150 million deal with the Saints in 2023, and before that, signed a $125 million deal with the Raiders. The verdict? Well, the moral was the story was that as long as you have the ability to deliver and consistently improve yourself, first or second round doesn't matter much. We have repeatedly seen first-round busts, and players like Tom Brady were picked in the sixth round and went on to become the greatest of all time. So, Shedeur and the Sanders family might need to focus on things they can control now, rather than giving heed to mindless banter.